Here we go. All right, and this is why we are here today to talk about the AI receptionist setup. Oh, Nathan's here as well. Hello, Nathan. So, hello to those of you that are here live. Thank you so much for joining us. To those watching the recording, hello. So, really, how I want to kick today off is really ask that question of, what happens in your business when a contact contacts you at 9 p.m. on a Saturday night? You can answer things in the chat, but you don't have to really answer this question. I just want you to think about this. So that contact most likely is going to call if there's a number to phone, or see if there's a way to do a live chat, or even potentially look at emailing you. But if they're going to call you, you know what they're going to do? It's 9 o'clock. You probably don't have anybody to answer the phone, so they're going to hang up. And then what they're going to do is go to a competitor site. And that competitor might have somebody that can answer their phones at 9 p.m. on a Saturday night. So every week, this is costing local businesses thousands of dollars in lost revenue. And today, we're going to talk about this and we are going to fix this. My name is Andrew Barclay. I am a customer success manager here at Vendasta. And then I also have the lovely Nathan Jaworski here. He is also a customer success manager here at Vendasta. And he's going to be my sidekick today and helping me out with the live chat and some of the other logistics here. And so I'm really excited to talk to you about the AI receptionist setup because well, myself and the customer success team, we've worked with hundreds of businesses in getting this set up. And we're going to be showing you exactly how to do this today and also show you how easy it is to set this up. I really care about this because many of the companies that and partners of ours that are working with using this, like, this is such an easy thing to do, and actually there's been lots of opportunities that have been missed and even success stories that our clients have told us for getting things like the chat receptionist, the lead capturing tool set up on the website, as well as having the voice receptionist set up. They've been able to capture leads that they couldn't have captured while the regular 9 to 5 hours that they're open, and actually had up to six-figure deals that have ended up closing. So I care a lot about this because I want these opportunities not only for your business, but also for the clients that you serve here as well. So by the end of the session today, you're going to know how to configure the AI agent that answers your phones, captures the lead, and can also do a few other things, all automatically, all 24/7. All right. Now I'm going to slip on this page here. So I introduce myself and Nathan. So the agenda for today's session is I'm going to review the AI voice receptionist setup. I'm going to take you through a live AI voice receptionist demo that I made. And then another feature is I'm going to go through the A2P application, which is the SMS functionality. So for those of you that are watching from the United States, this is something applicable to you. So you'll want to stick around and watch that. And then we'll be going into the Q&A and discussing what's next after that. And then some housekeeping logistics for today. This session is being recorded. There's questions at the end, and the replay is going to be available. Also, you can check out the library link that I believe someone's going to be posting here as I'm speaking about this. If not, we'll post it at the end of the session here today. So you can access not only this replay, but the other sessions that we have done. Thank you so much for popping that up there. I see that. Woo! All right. Okay. Well, we're going to skip ahead of that. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to pop into this tab. All right. So the first thing that I'm going to do is walk through really the logistical setup of getting a voice receptionist set up. Oh, I just remembered here. I also had a poll. So a question that I actually wanted to ask you folks here before I really dive into this setup here. So I mentioned earlier at the beginning of, what happens when someone calls your business at 9 p.m. on a Saturday night. So I'm just curious, I've got a poll here for you of what percentage of calls do you think come in after 5 p.m.? And you can go ahead and answer this question here. What do you think? Less than 10%, 20, some 40. No one's hit 70% yet. I should keep the Jeopardy music next time. Ooh. So we've got a tie here at less than 10% and 40%. And the correct answer here is 40% is the amount of calls that come in after 5 o'clock, which means that most of the leads that are happening, or for at least 40% of leads, are happening after hours that most businesses are open. And so this is really what used to happen is, the phone would ring at 6 p.m., nobody answers, and then the lead's gone. They've gone to a competitor. So this is what's going to happen now is when getting your receptionist set up here, it's going to be able to answer that call 24/7. So when you come into either your business app or a partner center for you folks here, I'm going to be taking you through the setup inside of the business application here. So you'll find your AI workforce and then your voice receptionist here, and you can click on the configure button. Now, I'm not going to go into tons of details about this, but I want to give you a high level overview. This is what it's really going to look like when you come in to set this up. So you'll notice here on the left side, I've got a customizable image. I chose this adorable hamster who looks kind of funny. He's answering a phone. Perfect for a voice receptionist. And then the name here is customizable. So since I am using the business Muji Robson, do I have any Muji fans in the live chat today? You can even send an emoji of a thumbs up. They do Japanese stationery. Oh, we've got a wave, some love. Okay. I have an affinity for stationery and stationery supplies, so that's why I chose this business. So we're calling this one the Muji expert instead of the voice receptionist expert. Now you're going to see here on the left side, so calls are limited to 10 minutes per call. That is something that is important to know. And included is 300 minutes per month. As of right now, we have no extra charge on minutes. So we will notify you and communicate to you when that is going to change. But as of now, there are no minutes restrictions on here. Coming back up here, so you're going to see that I've claimed a phone number for the business, and that is something that you can also do prior to the step. There'd be a button that says claim phone number. And then from here, I get to now customize everything. The beauty of this is we have created this voice receptionist to be essentially ready to go for you and your business right out of the gate here. So the role has already been defined here. One thing I want you to notice is that you'll see that it's an easy to understand language. I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but it's a sentence that you and I could say, and that's actually giving the prompt here. So the beauty of this is you don't have to be great at, coding or understanding all of that. You can simply talk to it as if you would talk to an individual. So this is its role, its behavior. It's a representative of the business. It's going to speak friendly, simple, and formal. This is all done here. You can customize this. Now, a fun story about this, which I will tell you afterwards, is this is the speech. So this is the model that's going to power the speech, and the sound of the voice is AI. So this one's automatically defaulted to the OpenAI GPT real time. There are different options here. And I will say, if you have no idea what to do, please just leave it with the default. I played around with it earlier and had a horrible experience, and it cost me a lot of time trying to get it right when I could have just used the real-time one. And if you think that, well, none of these make a difference, they do make a difference, and I will explain more later. And here it's defaulted to Ash. You can choose if you want a masculine or feminine tone of voice, as well as the accent here. And then you can also choose, do you want it to play this pre-recorded greeting at the very beginning of the call or not? I'm going to click no. And so this is probably my favorite part about the voice receptionist is the capabilities. So with the capabilities section here, each of these, I like to think of a job. So very much like an employee that you're hiring. So if some of you like to, put a personal visual to the employees and the agents that you have in here, I like to personalize them. And you'll see that in my demo. I gave them human names here. But I think of them like a human being. So the capabilities of the jobs that they're gonna be doing, and I wanna be really clear on the jobs that I want somebody to execute on, and if I'm not clear, that usually means that they're not gonna be clear in the fulfillment of it. And when I give them too many things to do, well, if you think of human beings and we give them too many things to do, it can overwhelm them and not give the desired output that we have here. So with that said here, these are the capabilities that come programmed with it. It captures leads, and that's one of the huge parts about this is you're not just getting a voice receptionist that is going to pick up the phone and tell them the hours of operation and where they can find your business. It's designed to get the caller's name, their phone number, their email address. And so these are some things that we've pre-populated here. Now this looks a little bit different. These hashtags that are here, those do mean something specific. The hashtags mean this, the number 2 here is the header, and then the number 3 is the subsection that's nested underneath this main header, which could be breaking down rules into do's and don'ts. It can also be examples here. So you'll see that that flow follows here. And again, we've made this for you. So it's essentially ready to go. Have a look over what you understand this can do or what your business partners understand that this can do. And then you can also add anything that you would like to this. But it's going to capture their name and their phone number. The record preferred booking times. So this one here, as a personal recommendation, would actually recommend removing this because you'll see below here there's book appointments. What that's going to do is it's going to capture a time that someone from your organization could reach out to the individual based on when they would like you to contact them. So an example is if they phone you and say, hey, I'd like someone to call me on Sunday at 10 a.m. and you're not open on Sunday, it's going to record that and then leave a message for that, where I'd say let's get them right into booking an appointment with someone. So we've got the ability to schedule an appointment. Now, the other thing you can do here is there's a bunch of other capabilities that you can add, and this is the library here, and you'll see that's where book appointments is. You can set this up by actually going into your CRM and going into the My Meeting section here. Oh, see here. I'm just going to quickly show you. So once you go into your My Meetings, you can set up your booking links. And once all of this is configured, then you can come back into the agent and then you can connect those calendar links inside of here so that the AI agent can then check the availability and actually book in a time with them. And then the knowledge source. So this is where your AI voice receptionist will know like the library of information that they can speak from. And the great thing about this inside of Business app is once you've entered the business information for your clients, it's automatically pulling that up in here, which is awesome. So then if you need to customize anything, you can go directly into their business profile and make business information edits there. You can also add a whole bunch of different things. There's text that you can add, websites, URLs, file uploads. Now, important when adding a website here is this part here, enable automatic refresh. Make sure that you turn this bad boy on because it is going to automatically refresh the pages every 30 days so that if any information gets updated on your site, then the voice receptionist knows this. Pro tip, if you're doing a big overhaul to your website or some really key information that gets updated, come back in here and click the refresh button. You can select all the pages, refresh, and then the beauty is I can close this while it does its job. And then automation. So if you wanted to set up any specific automations for this agent, you're able to do that. And I'll give you a couple examples actually in my next one. But I wanted to go over just some of these main aspects here of the configuration and setup for this. One last thing to do is under the settings here, this is also where you can get instructions for how to set up call forwarding to mobile and for a landline. And also when a call is received, you can answer with AI, you can forward the call and give those instructions here. A really great feature for those that then get SMS functionality set up is send a follow-up message. So after you're done the call, you can then have a message that says, "Hi, thanks for calling Muji Robson's store. You can text us here if you have any more questions." And then if they were able to, if the user responds to that SMS, you can then say what you would like it to do. And the beauty about this is that it's going to pass this off to another employee that you would have set up, which is your chat receptionist. And that would be the one that lives on your website. That same agent can then pick it up here and then run with it to capture more information or answer any other questions that they have. That's pretty exciting. Can I get some love in the chat for that? Like, that's pretty cool that we have the ability to do that. Oh, no. Okay, I got one heart. Thank you to whoever is following along with me here. Woo! All right. So now from here, what I want to show you is I'm going to share this tab here. So I made my own business. This is all a mock site. Is I created Up in Smokes Inc. I was researching some fireplace businesses. So in my house here, I have a natural gas fireplace in our basement. And so we've had some maintenance work that needs to be done. And I just happened to be gardening by the exhaust chimney, and I thought, oh well, I'm just going to look up some of the businesses for fireplaces. So I was inspired by that to make this business. And what was really interesting is that in my looking at random websites all over Canada and throughout the United States, the amount of businesses that did not have an easy way to get a hold of them, to ask questions or understand what installation is or how to get a quote was fascinating. And the live chat agents that just had put your name and your email address and someone's going to get a hold of you, lots of those. So just throwing that out there. So I made Rose here, the voice receptionist. Hopefully you'll see some familiar names and faces here. But I configured Rose in a few different ways. So these are some additional add-ons that I did because look, we make the base for you and then there's tons of customization that you're going to want to do with your clients or even with your own business. As I mentioned, I essentially hired Rose here to do this job and I've spent a good, hour and a half with Rose getting her configured and set up so she knows my business Up in Smoke very well, that she's able to answer calls the way that I want her to answer calls and deal with any of the issues that I've had. So for your clients that you're working with, think of these as people and that they need time and training and development to be able to execute on their job very well. And they're going to need continued maintenance. So just keep that in your mind as you're even following along with me here. So I did something inside of the capabilities. I asked that sometimes the voice receptionist will say that it needs an email address, especially if it has a booking link. So what I said here is an email address is only required if they book a meeting. If they do not provide an email address, proceed with the conversation. So that was something that I was finding as a blocker in my testing of Rose. And then a quote inquiry. So I had specific questions I wanted them Rose to know about and a certain flow that I wanted her to go through when somebody was asking about a fireplace installation quote. And so this is what I created. Now I used an AI tool to actually put this in better language. I said, this is what I want to do. These are the key points. And it made this, it's pretty basic English. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing anything. So I used a tool for this and this is what it came out with. And then I made some tweaks and edits to this as I was working with Rose. And then the book appointments, I set up a calendar for her, which is awesome. And then I added some more information about the business here, specific fireplace questions. I created all of these PDFs here that I uploaded. And then originally I had an automation for this that sent a follow-up text to, so I'm here acting as Norma Bland. Norma Bland is the owner of Up in Smoke Inc. And so I'm pretending that I'm Norma coming in here. And then Norma, I would get a text after anybody interacted with Rose and gave the information. So this was, again, took a decent amount of time. So like I said, I spent about an hour and a half setting up and configuring rows. So just something as a best practice as well to think about is if you're setting this up for clients, I strongly encourage you to charge a setup fee or a configuration fee for getting this done because it's a decent amount of work. Now, if I go into my contact section here, I just want to play this for you. So I phoned in. I'm now a contact in in Norma's Up and Smoke CRM here. And then what you're going to see now is the transcript of this call right here. Now, I'm really hoping that this works. I'm going to play you this minute and 43-second.
Hi there. This is Rose with Up and Smoke Inc. How can I help you today?
Thumbs up if you can hear this.
Yes, I'd like to talk to somebody about getting a fireplace installed.
I'd be happy to help you get a quote started. Could I get your first and last name, please?
Yes, my first name is Andrew and last name is Barclay.
Thanks, Andrew. Would you like me to use the number you're calling from, ending in 6737, for this quote?
Yes.
Okay, I'll use that number. Thank you. What type of fireplace are you interested in? Natural gas, wood burning, or electric?
Natural gas.
Great. And where in your home are you hoping to have it installed? Like which room?
We're looking at the living room.
Thanks. Are you thinking of installing it on an interior or exterior wall? Or are you still deciding?
We're looking at an exterior wall.
Got it. About how large is your living room, say, in feet by feet?
I'd say approximately 10 feet by 12 feet.
Thanks for that. Just to confirm, do you live within the city of Saskatoon?
I do, yes.
Perfect. Would you like to set up an appointment at our showroom to go over the quote? Or would you prefer a phone call to discuss next steps?
I would prefer a phone call.
No problem. Someone from our team will call you to discuss the quote and next steps. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
When will somebody call me?
They'll be in touch in the next business day. Anything else I can assist you with right now?
Nope, that's good.
All
right, thanks for calling and have a great day.
Wow, give it up for Rose. She did phenomenal on that. Woo! So that was the whole call that I made. And how I configured this. So you'll know all of the questions that Rose was asking were qualifying questions for information that I know that the people at Up and Smoke Inc. are going to need. And as you can see here, there is a bunch of information then that gets summarized and put in here. So my sales team could come in here and actually be able to review this information. Now, I wasn't able to get the automation for the text set up, but in my previous iterations of this, I got a text to my phone as I set up in the automation that said the name, which was the lead name was Andrew. It had a phone number and then the type of fireplace that they were looking for. So then I could come back into my business app here and then be able to follow up with this. Plus, Norma can also, and their team can also set up notifications inside of the platform here when a new lead comes in. And I haven't configured that here, mostly as I don't want to inundate my inbox with this. But you'd be able to set up those notifications inside of the platform here. And like I said, I set her up so she had several qualifying questions. And you'll notice that even that one question of, do you live in the city of Saskatoon? So I, as Up and Smoke Incorporated, they will only service and work with clients inside of the city. So again, that was a qualifying question. If they didn't live inside of the city and were just phoning around, then I already know that that's disqualifying this person as a lead. So that was something, again, I've configured and set up here inside of my prompting area as well. Great. And then the other thing that I did with this now, because I live in Canada, I don't have the same SMS carrier restrictions that the folks in the US do. So I am able to set that up here right away. But many of our partners that are in the United States will have to go through an extra step in order to set up their to get the SMS functionality inside of the Conversations AI and voice receptionist platform here. So I realized I didn't have my other tab here. Okay, give me 1 second here. I am going to load a different screen so I can show you what that looks like. All right, well, I can't find that screen. All right, so let me see what I can do here. Okay, hold on. I'm going to find just another client here. Bear with me, folks. I am just looking for an example to show you what the A2P application looks like so that we can walk through this all together here. And then the good news is if you stick around, I have a special something that I made for you folks with the A2P application. I made a best practice and a checklist for you so that as you're getting set up with this, you will be able to have some strong support in getting your application approved here. Oh, yes, I can use that one. Thank you. I'm actually going to quickly do this. All right. Okay, almost there, almost there. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to share this tab. So hopefully you can all see this here. Yes, all right. Thank you for your patience with this. So what I did is I'm in the workforce here. So there's a couple places you can come to find your conversation settings. I'm actually going to show you through administration. You can come to conversation settings here. So now it's going to say phone and SMS. So it's assigned me a phone number here. Hopefully that's accurate to the Portland area. So now what it's going to have me do is go through this SMS registration. So what US businesses have to do is essentially apply to be able to be verified that they are not going to just be selling information and phone data and the US phone carriers just have strict compliance rules right now. So filling out this application is going to help you. So with legal business name, please use the name that is on your EIN registration. So if you had like a comma LLC in your business name, so if it's Muji Portland LLC, including that comma, if that's where it's showing on the form there, please include that as a best practice. We have seen some rejections here by not having that information, or even looking at your IRS records. And then the business category here, your business type. So you're going to go through all of this here, your EIN number, the street address. So again, making sure this matches your IRS records exactly, including the zip code format, the website, the authorized representatives. So very much so, making sure this matches the records that you have on file. And your position, all of that here. So the next part here is usually where we see most of the rejections. And so just know that, well, I'll talk about best practices afterwards. So with the campaign section, so they're going to want to know, how are you using the SMS functionality? Marketing, is it transactional? Is it a mix of both? And then do you consent verbally? Yes, no. So this is also important to know, is that you need to have this type of information here inside of both the text messages that you receive in the SMS terms and conditions page, as well as if there's a submission form, you do need to have a checkbox there. Your web chat widget, is it embedded on your site? and you'll just need to put the URL, which if it's on the main page of your website, put that in here. The customer information form, this is also, I guess, probably the most important part here is wherever you have a form on your website, you can put the URL there. And all of this information here is what's very important. So your form must include separate consent checkboxes for each type of messaging. For transactional consent, a checkbox for service-related messages, appointment reminders, support updates, marketing consent, and then a disclosure. And these also cannot be, this checkbox must not be required to complete the form. So it has to be an optional, especially for the marketing part. Privacy policy in terms of service, so having a separate URL for each of these. They can't be lumped onto one page. So have separate URLs for those. And again, you must make sure that the wording there, I don't know about you folks, but some of business partners had someone else make the wording for them for their terms of service and privacy policy. So you can take those pages and even run it through, an AI platform, just making sure that it's being very specific that you're not sharing phone data and all of these here. And same with the terms of service URL. So I also wanted to show you a website that I used here just to show, well, what does some of this stuff look like? Because it's easy to see on an application form. Oops. I think I got click friendly and I close my screen. Here we go. All right, so I made this up. I have friends that live in Boulder, Colorado, so they inspired me for this. I came up with Possum Digital. Just made this website up in Vibe. So if you have not yet checked out our Vendasta Vibe product, I strongly recommend that you do so because I was able to create this website in a matter of minutes and everything that you see here. So with this website, some things that we have seen as far as websites that are being rejected for A2P reasons is your footer must include links to the data privacy policy. It's not required, but we've seen good success rates with having SMS terms, a separate page for that, as well as a terms and conditions page that's here. So in scheduling a call, booking a discovery call, you see here, there's also the SMS consent checkbox that they have to check off. It is not a mandatory requirement. Neither is the phone number field that's here. And then there's also, again, not a requirement, but something that I've seen as a good practice is the ability to have the hyperlinks to the privacy policy, SMS terms, and the terms of condition pages directly inside of the consent box there. And then you can have a look at this information here. So really, we also added an SMS messaging inside of this as well on the data privacy policy. There's a whole SMS and terms page. And then in terms and conditions, we put this information. This is pretty much the same wording that partners have used of ours and seen a succession rate with that. So I have to say with the A2P application for you folks that are watching this for your own business and getting this set up, as well as offering this to clients. So if they're US-based clients, I would recommend not promising them that this is something you can get set up and activated for them immediately. The application itself can take a couple days for I have understood it as an AI agent to be looking at the website and scanning for things. So if it sees anything that can be off, it would most likely will reject the application form there. If it passes that, then it gets sent on to human review, and that can take 7 to 10 business days for them to go through and then approve that. Sometimes it's shorter than that, but I just want you to know that you can expect that when filling out this the application form here. And encourage your clients that, hey, I'm going to look to get this set up. There's some things that you have to do. And then as you probably saw on the website, which I'm going to go back and share here, is you also have to make sure that the website is up to date and has the information that they would require there in like this consent checkbox to be able to to get approved. If they've just made a website and haven't done any of those things, or they're like, well, yeah, I have a checkbox, but haven't followed the requirements that are inside of what's being requested here, you most likely could be rejected there. And if you're having any issues setting this up, you can reach out to our support team. You can reach out to your account manager should you have one, and more than happy to help you get that set up and configured here. So this is a really great functionality to have. It allows you the ability to, as I think I showed earlier, after the voice receptionist is done speaking with the client, a text message can go out and be sent directly to the clients. And then you can also configure it so, your agent, who would be, like I set up here, Dorothy, is then going to take over and then be able to interact with that lead. And as you most likely know, all of those conversations are getting logged here, so you'd be able to review all of the conversations that these folks are having inside of your platform. Okay, that was a lot that I went over today. So thank you so much for sticking with me. And this might be one that you have to come back to and revisit because there was a lot of information here. So from that, we are going to go directly into audience Q&A.
All right, we've got some great questions, some of which have been answered in the chat, some of which have been answered in the Q&A, but we've got a few that haven't been answered yet. So this one we've had before, but it always bears repeating. Do we have to train the chat agent separately or copy the instructions from voice?
That is a great question. Yes, you'll want to train it separately. I'm just going to go back to my page here. Yes, train them separately as they can do slightly different things, and yet you can also, let me share this. So the things that you can set up here, I think is Freddie. So any of the capabilities that you create, you can also, like customized capabilities, you'll be able to access them here. So this quote inquiry, I can add that here. So that way I don't have to retrain Dorothy on it or upload new information. I can simply add that here. And it was like, is there something different that I would maybe want my chat receptionist to know and do versus the voice receptionist?
So yeah, great answer there, Andrew. It's essentially very easy to carry over capabilities and knowledge from employee to employee, but to Andrew's point, might want to tweak it in such a way so that it's most optimized for that agent. Great questions. Okay, we've got another one here. Do we have example scripts for different niches? I'll answer that one. It's a pretty quick answer. Generally, we don't have a whole ton of different scripts for different niches. However, if you go into your partner center and you go to marketplace packages and then go to the recommended packages, we do have some AI workforce packages where the marketing materials attached to that package are designed for a specific industry. So we've got things like agents and brokers, home services, personal services, and in there you can find some AI prompts that are geared towards those specific industries. Unfortunately, we aren't able to cover every single industry or every single potential customer use. So what I would recommend is check out those recommended packages, those AI workforce packages. If you go into the package and scroll down below the line items, you'll see all those marketing materials and collateral that you can use, and then maybe just feed into your AI model of choice to change the prompt to fit a different industry.
I also want to do a plug here for our Vendasta services team. Boop. So we also have a few products available here. So if you found that the configuration and setting up of these agents is something that you would prefer to pass off and have somebody else do, we have those fulfilled services here. So there is a 12-month or a monthly option as well as a one-time fee that can be set up. So I recommend having a look through these three options here. The second one is specific to the AI reputation specialist setup. The AI employee setup, our Vendasta services team will actually set it up, configure, and it's a white labeled service as well. So they can deal directly with your clients. They can work directly with you as you also get that set up. Plus, with the optimization plan here, they are going to provide continued support. And this one specifically has a 12-month subscription to it. Go into these products, learn a bit more about them. You can ask the agent if you have further questions or reach out to us directly for further questions. I won't go into those too much right now.
Fantastic. I have one more question.
Ooh.
If you are already having a Twilio SMS number with A2P, can you use that here too?
The answer is no. We have to set up a unique number within the platform, unfortunately. So it has to be generated here. Yeah.
Yeah, no, good. That would, I have nothing to add to that. That's unfortunate. So hopefully that's not too much of a blocker for you folks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all we're gonna have time for today, I think.
Okay. If I may add one thing to that though, Nathan.
One quick
thing to that. So if you might find for yourself or for your clients, they already have a phone number for their business. So you can actually set up these agents that the call can be forwarded to the AI agent after, let's say, 4 rings. If nobody answers, then, Rose could pick up the phone here and she'd be able to take it from there. So you don't have to get a brand new phone number. I know with the SMS, if you've set it up somewhere else, yes, you will have to do that here. But I just also wanted to mention the call forwarding functionality. Yeah.
Excellent.
And then up next week, we are doing product configuration. So building AI workforce packages that sell themselves. And I believe, Nathan, you're the one that's leading this session, aren't you?
Yes, it will be me next week. So I'll see your lovely faces. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Great. And then thank you so much. The wonderful Jeff Leibel has posted, we have the sales strategy and positioning every Thursday, and we have one coming up this Thursday. And you know what? I did not put that in there. We've got a library of resources.
I'm just going to take the description out of this one.
We've got the register now link. Amazing. So register for this session. And I don't know if somebody else on the team wants to speak about it. I highly, highly recommend joining these sessions. As it said, sales strategy.
It dovetails very nicely with what we do here. This is a lot of the implementation, and you're going to then want the next step on how to position these services, how to position these products, and how to sell them, and how to make the most on the sales side out of your Vendasta partnership. So really recommend you checking these out. Register if you haven't already.
Mm-hmm. Spencer is speaking this week. Oh my gosh, this isn't one you're going to want to miss because they are, oh my gosh, correct me if I'm wrong. They're setting up Sandra, the agent that's able to make sales calls.
Yeah,
I wish I had a mic that I could just drop on here.
Our front end SDR AI, which we are very excited about.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending live. Thank you so much for those of you that are watching the recording. And we're here next week. So some homework for you. Go set up your AI agent. Go play around with it. If you've got a professional and above subscription, you've got it included in your platform. You might even just choose to make the investment and buy this for your business and test it out. So my homework for you from now until our next time we meet, go set up your AI voice receptionist. Okay. Take care. Have a great Tuesday. Bye.